Well, I know why you are in this video because you are traveling with your laziness, right? And in this video, I'm going to talk about how you can learn English if you are lazy, okay? Because you want to see yourself speaking flawless English, but you don't feel to sit down and study English, right? Second reason could be you have started your language journey but you are not receiving the expected result you wanted. Therefore, you feel down, demotivated, and not to keep continue your practice. That time you can feel lazy. But if I will talk about myself, then I am also struggling with this problem. But my reason is totally different. It is that I'm on work entire day, then at the night time I feel so tired, I don't feel to study and to practice English. But what can I do? I need to practice. So I believe that I'm not alone here. You may be also struggling with this problem. That is why I came up with a plan for lazy people. Well, there are only 3 lazy habits that I follow whenever I feel lazy. Okay, so I'm gonna share that 3 lazy habits with you. Before starting to follow that lazy habits, I prepare one thing and that is a list of vocabulary so that I don't need to read books for collecting vocabulary and you know how important vocabs are to learn a language, right? But how can you get that list of vocabulary? Let me explain. You can take help of internet, just go to Google and search give me a list of vocabulary for beginner. So here you can see on the screen the website name where you can visit. There you will get countless of vocabulary in an alphabetic sequence and you can download it. Okay. Now let's discuss the first lazy habit which I follow. Whenever I am on my bed or sitting in a chair doing nothing, feeling lazy, then I use my favorite application, that is of course YouTube, where I search English songs with lyrics and then I simply start listening the song along with I mimic the song. And believe me, it is one of the fun way and effective way to practice English because you are not just listening, you are speaking as well, right? You are using the language as well. So that could be your bonus point. And you know what? Whenever we feel lazy and we start listening songs, somehow it help us to feel energetic. You will just forget your laziness. You will start enjoying your practice, right? So this is actually a fun way to learn a language. You can just listen a song and mimic the song. But if you are somebody who doesn't like to listen songs, yeah, it could be because initially I was not fond of listening English songs, but these days I started to listen songs. So I can feel you. If you don't like to listen English songs, then I have another option for you. That is, you can watch native speakers blog. Yes, I know it's hard to get their accent, but you can take help of subtitles, right? And we know very well if we want to learn a new language, we must listen to native speakers. But as an Indian, we always skip this part. We never listen. Even we don't like to listen native speakers, right? Because we are unable to get their accent. But I think it could be effective if you are watching native speakers blog because we can absorb their accent, tone, how they are reacting, and how casually they are using this language. We can absorb them. And another thing is when we feel lazy, we need something new and exciting, right? And I can say that when you will watch their blogs, you will get everything new. We can also explore new places by watching their blogs, right? So it will help us to practice English whenever we feel lazy. So why I'm suggesting you these are the content, because when we feel lazy, we don't feel to watch TED Talks, listen to podcast, English teachers, we don't feel to listen them. It's so boring, right? It feels like a wet blanket. So at that time, you can consume exciting something, okay? Whether songs are so exciting, really. Whenever I mimic the song, I just try to move my body and I enjoy actually. And second thing, whenever you will watch their blogs, you will be stunned. Oh my god, how comfortable life they are living. Yes, I always feel like. So you can consume these contents when you feel lazy. Okay, now it's totally up to you. Now the second lazy habit that I follow, which is speaking. Well, for speaking practice, we need to connect to strangers. And don't ask me how terrible I feel when it comes to make phone calls with a stranger. I really feel so frustrated. I can't, when I feel lazy, I can't to make phone calls. So at that time, what I exactly do, in my initial days when I used to connect to strangers, I saved a few of the numbers. Okay, now these days I'm texting them, I'm offering them that can you be my co-partner for practicing English once or thrice in a week. And in this way I texted 3 to 4 strangers whom I found interesting to talk. Now I can call them to practice English every day because they are not a stranger and I don't feel strange to talk to them. I don't need that confidence to talk to them because now I'm so comfortable. They became my friend and I can easily call them whenever I feel lazy, right? This way I practice every day and you can do this, okay? So how can you connect with strangers? Obviously there are applications, there are WhatsApp groups where you will get partners like you who are so keen to learn English, so you can offer them, okay? But never ask that I want to practice with you every day because nobody will available for you every day. So just offer them for twice or thrice in a week that I want to practice with you. Okay, so this was my second habit. And another thing that you can do, if you are even don't want to make phone calls with your friends, like a stranger became friend, if you don't like, then just sitting in a chair or whatever you are doing, just start talking to yourself that hey, what happened to you? Why are you feeling so lazy? Don't you want any progress? Don't you want to see yourself speaking flawless English? So what the hell happened to you? It will be like you became crazy, but obviously it will help you to practice. Somehow you are practicing by talking to yourself, okay? You can do this. Now the last lazy habit that I follow, that is, as I mentioned you in the beginning of the video, that I prepare a list of vocabulary. So now you need to start using that vocabulary. So obviously you don't need to remember any single one vocabs. No. Just pick out 2 new vocabs, okay? After picking out the new vocabulary, then just find out the meaning and go to WhatsApp. Create 2 sentences only related to your life, related to your friend. Then send that 2 sentences to your friend who also want to learn English. And that's enough. You don't need to do any other thing. You don't need to remember it. So for example, what exactly I do, suppose I remember 2 vocabs, that is navigate and split. Okay, navigate that means direction and split that means separating something. Okay, so I will just create 2 sentences that hey, can you split your time for me? I want to practice English with you. Then another is navigate. So you know what, these days my teacher is navigating me how I can learn English in an easy way. Simple, right? So in this way you can frame just 2 sentences and send your friend. That's enough. Then go to your bed and have a tight sleep. Okay? So yes, you can follow this last lazy habit before going to bed. Because you know what happens? If before going to bed we do something, it somehow keeps in our mind till morning. In the morning, the first thing you remember, that is what you did before sleeping. It happens. Yes, it will help you to naturally remember vocabs. Okay. The next day when you will pick out another 2 vocabulary, then just read that previous sentences you have sent it to your friend. Read, then create 2 more sentences and send them. Okay. But inform that friends that this is my way of learning new vocabulary, so I'm sending you, don't respond, and my purpose is not to bother you. And obviously they will not get bothered, right? Because they also want to learn English, and somehow if you will send them every day new vocabulary, they will find it interesting, they will find it beneficial, right? So this is how I follow my last lazy habit. You can follow these 3 lazy habits whenever you feel lazy. See, we don't feel every day lazy, right? But there is a moment and there is a time when we are going through bad days, bad situations, like so busy and getting full of negative thoughts. That time we don't feel to practice. And at that moment, you don't need, and at that moment, I will say, don't give up. What exactly we do, and it's our natural habit, we just give up. We think that no, I can't, we can't, and I can't practice more, I can't study more, we just give up. But instead of giving up, you can start adopting these lazy habits. Okay, and remember that you will obviously not get rapid result in this way because we are not putting effort. So gradually, obviously we will get progress, but in a slow way, right? Like a turtle, as you heard the story of turtle and rabbit. So this is how we gonna progress with our language. Okay, well, this is all that I thought I need to share because this was one of my biggest problem when I was in my language journey, like when I was in the beginner level. So in between my language journey, I used to feel so lazy. I used to feel like, yeah, I don't feel to practice. I just decided that I need to get over this thing. I need to do something. I need to plan something to keep practice English because my target is I want to become as fluent as I am in my mother tongue. So you can imagine, I can't stop to practice my English. So that is why today I am with this strange topic, and this video is actually totally different because in my previous video I always talked about how you can maintain your consistency and you need to put effort, you need to push yourself to learn English. But in this video I am just opposite. I'm not telling you that push yourself. I'm just telling you that whenever you are in your comfort zone, you feel lazy, still you can practice English, you can learn English. Yes, don't think that you can't. Okay, so yes, that's all. I will catch you in my next video. Till then, take care of yourself and don't forget to shoot your all negative thoughts and live your life like you are the king of your life. Okay, bye bye.